was that kid really 12? His jokes were kind of inappropriate. I mean, really, was he 12 and telling those kind of jokes? Hey guys, welcome back to Kellie TV. We'll talk more about that naughty jokester a little bit later in the video, but first, let's talk about this season of America's Got Talent. It's just really amazing. So much talent, hardly any terrible acts. And we started off this episode with another really great singer. Her name is Emily West. She was a country singer and she was really unique and kind of reminded you of old school country, old Hollywood, as Mel B said. And from what I hear from my friends on Beamly, she had a record deal maybe once before, but is no longer signed to a label. So I can totally believe that because she's very, very talented and the judges loved her. Up next, we had some people with some really fast-moving feet. And when I say fast, I mean really, 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 really fast. They were a Colombian salsa dance troupe, and at first we thought they were just a bunch of adults, but then in the middle of the act, they brought out a bunch of kids as part of their troupe, and I mean, they were moving so fast. It was really cute. I liked it, and the judges liked it as well. One of my favorite acts of the night was Rachel, the impressionist who actually knew Howard Stern. She'd been on his show before. And I just love ventriloquists, impressionists, magicians. She was awesome. She started out with Wanda Sykes and she had that voice down. She did Whoopi and Joan Rivers and a couple of other people, and she was really good, and I see a lot of potential in Rachel, and I hope she does really well later on in the show. So a group of guys came out and they were like computer nerds, and their name was Legacy. They're a boy band, but they're in their 30s, so they're kind of like Backstreet Boys, except they were never famous. And at first we were just kind of thinking they weren't going to be that great, and they were talking about their boring jobs, but in the back of my mind I was thinking this is being set up for them to be really, really awesome. And I was right, and so was Mel B, who predicted that they would be really good. They were really, really good. Who doesn't love a very awesome boy band? I mean, they didn't have any dance routines, but maybe they will later on in the show. So a really cool magician, or I guess he's a magician, but he did like a lot of card tricks. His name was Matt Franco, and I've never seen anyone do what he did. He told a story with his magic through cards, and the story applied to AGT and all the judges, and even a little something special for the Spice Girls. He was cute and likable and unique, but I'm sorry, dude, you're no Smoothini. You know I love me some Smoothini. Matt, you're good, but you're not as good as Smoothini, but you're good. You're up there. You're up there. So we had Paul. He was the soldier who started out like a little bit nervous. And I was so surprised when I heard the Rihanna song come on, because I've never heard a guy sing that before, especially in the high key. And when he started up, he was really good, and he very much impressed the judges, who all stood up, and almost all of them gave him a hug. Even Nick gave him a hug. The audience gave him a standing ovation. So I know we're going to be seeing a lot more from Paul in the very near future. Can we talk about this hand balancer? The best I've ever seen. Christian was amazing. I mean, not only was he balancing on his hand, he was balancing on his finger in a wine bottle. I mean, who could do that? Fun fact, I tried to do some hand balancing in the commercial break. I'm really terrible at it, so you're not going to ever see me on AGT for hand balancing. Now singing, that's something I would consider. Anyway, back to Christian. He was just really, really amazing. He even swiveled around when he was doing his tricks, and I think Howie said he hadn't seen anything like this before, and neither had I, and I think he's going to do well on the show because there's a lot of hand balancers, but there aren't a lot of Christians. Maggie Lane, she really shocked us all. We knew she was into fitness and we knew she was into opera, but we didn't know if she'd be any good at either. So she comes out and she's really, 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 really good. As someone who sings opera myself, I can tell you that she was excellent. But then she takes her clothes off. Okay, not really. I mean, she did have the bikini on underneath that dress, but she was trying to show the judges and the audience that she was a bikini model, a fitness person, and Howard actually kind of had an issue with it. He said it took away from her talent and her song. And we were talking in Beamly about this, kind of going back and forth. Beamly is a really cool app that allows you to chat live while your favorite shows are on, and it's so fun to be able to talk to other people who love the same shows that you do. And the America's Got Talent room is always rocking. So many people are in there. Some people were kind of offended by what she did, and some thought that it was a cool little gimmick, and some thought that she didn't need a gimmick. So what do you think? Let me know down below. Anyway, she was really talented. So Dr. Benji came out, and I had some high hopes for this guy because he had all those cool instruments like the keytar, and he just looked like he might have some talent, but sadly, I don't know what was up with his mic, but when he sang into it, it made his voice like all T-pained out, like auto-tuned, and then he's kind of playing all those different instruments, but it was too much. He just wasn't any good, but he looked cool. The judges had to say bye to him. Then we had Howard, who was up there. Yeah, Howard Stern. He was up there, and the judges didn't like him. Well, not exactly, because a voice coach came on. She says she could teach anyone how to sing, including Howard, and Howard, I guess, is tone deaf. I mean, he wasn't that bad. Really? Was he? No, not that bad. But still, she's trying to teach him how to sing. He didn't really want to be doing it, and, you know, they buzzed her off that stage. But it was kind of funny. All right, now to our naughty jokester. Josh is only 12 years old, and he comes out really, really nervous. We don't know what he's going to do. This is his first time, obviously, in front of a big crowd like this. And he starts telling jokes, and I'm like, am I hearing that correctly? And then I'm trying to remember, did they say he was 12? Because his jokes are, they're really, really naughty. And all his jokes are really, really naughty. And he said that his dad was the one who had helped him, and his dad totally supports this. So this has been a big point of controversy as well. Do you guys think that these jokes are appropriate for a 12-year-old, or do you think that they were just super funny? Let me know down below. The show ended with a pretty amazing talent. Laura, who is an aerialist, and she didn't grow up doing this because a lot of these people have done this their whole life, or they were part of a circus act or something like that, but she was inspired to do it after she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, alopecia, which made her lose all of her hair, and she just kind of wanted to live in the moment after that, and she was so talented. The way that she was climbing up that, and I know it's not a rope, but it looks like a ribbon, and, you know, doing all those things where at any second if something went wrong, she would seriously hurt herself, but it was so beautiful and acrobatic, and it's like she had been doing it her whole life. She's totally meant to be doing something like this, and I liked her backstory, and the judges really liked her backstory, and it was just totally beautiful, and she's really my favorite aerialist that we've seen so far. So we've seen a lot of acts, and I want you to tell me, who are your favorite acts so far? Also, if you haven't joined me in the Beamly chat room, please do, because it is so much fun. If you don't believe me, you just have to show up and find out for yourself. I'm putting that link down below. And remember, there's a special AGT on this Sunday, which looks really cool. I think they're going to try to break some records in it, so you want to tune into that. I'll be on Beamly talking, so you can join me there as you watch. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Kellie TV, and I hope you have a great night.